Good morning, everybody. We're back in the garden. Gonna be equipping the Farmall to come out here with the healers and put some fertilizer in beside my corn. Old Buster's over there snaking around. Corn looking pretty good. We had 2 or 3 series of rain, and it went from 4 inches to 18 inches. So it's looking pretty good. Still got a few naked spots here where the crows come in there and just done their little thing. When I went through it, as opposed to hoeing it, I actually pulled some of the, not pulled it, but shoveled up some of the corn that would have needed hoed out and brought over here and filled in some of these naked spots. So it made my rows look a little healthier. But it's coming on along. I'm pretty pleased with it. So it's time to get in there, and I'm gonna roll lay some fertilizer by it, and it finally dried out. We've had about 2 days of not raining, so it's finally dried back out. This low garden down here is doing pretty good. The corn and pole beans is coming on up. They're a little bit sparsely because that upper row right there is that was one of them crows just tore all to pieces. I hoed my squash out, thinned it out something. It's just taking on off. The okra is looking pretty good. I'm not going to heal the okra today. It's still a little bit too low. I don't know if I'm going to try to get in beside that squash or not with the healers. That's a little bit of, I may just come in there and just lightly do a little something. And I get back over toward the barn, and I'll be back over there in a little bit. I'm just going to do a little short video out here in the field and just move toward the barn and start getting the Farmall set up. The battery's sitting on 4%, so it's not going to do a whole lot more, and it's going to quit on me. I'll add a little bit of juice to this battery, and we'll shoot. Maybe we can shoot a little bit of hilling video. All I can do is put it on a tripod and get back and let you watch me go up and down the road a time or two. But anyways, that's where me and Buster are at today. And it is looking pretty good. I keep talking and walking. I'll be back to the shop in just a second. I picked my first jalapeno peppers last Friday. I got 2 or 3 little tomatoes coming on along. That battery hold out, we'll make it on over there. Boy, I got a lot to do. It heated up just a little bit. Excuse me. And we a little bit of heat and air work, and all of a sudden that started making the phone ring. But anyways, here's our pepper plants. They're coming on up. We got a couple of jalapenos right there that really need to be picked. Got some bells coming on along. Alright, so we're back with a hot battery now. I'm not quite sure where it died. I'll overlap the videos just a little bit. Anyways, this is my tomato and pepper plants. These gardener favorites right here seem to be doing real good. They're a cherry tomato, and I grew them from seed. Grew all this stuff from seed. These are some tomatoes we got coming along. Good variety of them. We've done some orange Wellingtons, some big rainbows, some big daddies, and some black cherries. The little black cherries is coming along. Got quite a few of them coming in. Peppers is doing good. Got quite a few little peppers coming in. These Greek pepperoni and golden cow wonders. Jalapenos. I done picked several of those off there. So the garden, the container garden, it was started way early too. This was started, these seeds were started in February. So that's the reason, we're so far ahead of everybody else with these. And these were started not too long ago, and if I don't get some more soil in them, they're not going to do real well. Same thing, I actually need to be adding some more dirt to these pots and caging them up. Always plenty of work to do around here. But anyways, our next step, we're going to get this whole Farmall in there. And I'm going to put the hillers on the front. I'm not going to worry about my sweeps on the back just yet. But I'm going to put my hillers on the front, get that little plow off of it. And go in there and lay some fertilizer beside the plants. And after next rain, it dries out, I'm going to put all my sweeps and stuff back on here and go out there and cultivate it. Maybe the last time, I don't know, maybe I can get a couple of more cultivations in, just kind of keep the weeds beat down. That's the ticket there, keeping these weeds beat down. At some point, it's going to be too high to get in there with a tractor, and then it's just nothing left to do, just let it grow. Maybe get in there with a hoe, possibly run a tiller between the rows. Weeds and insects is your battle when you're dealing with the garden after you get it planted. I guess the first thing was crows. What come next? And we got some deer coming there and just eat the tops of them off. Deer hadn't been in the garden in a while. That's good. Crows are not digging anything out of the ground anymore. So it's always something when you grow in a garden. But at the end of the season, I've generally always found I've got plenty of stuff to put up in the freezer, and I feel like this year will be no different. We'll have plenty of okra, squash, silver queen corn, and hopefully we'll have a bunch of corn that we can grind for the chickens. And there's all kinds of things I'm experimenting with. I've really never done anything with tomatoes as far as making salsa or ketchup or anything like that. So I may experiment with some salsa recipes. I'd like to. There's a lot of things I'd like to do. Time just don't allow you to do enough. I call myself semi-retired, but it seems like it's just non-stop from the time I wake up till 6 o'clock in the evening. But I'm usually doing something I enjoy, so that's kind of great. That's great. Other than the heat and air work, which is kind of rough sometimes. But I got a couple of guys that kind of help me out with that kind of stuff. So a lot of times I'll go look at a job, and, if it's something relatively small, I fix it and get them going. If it turns into something big, I got a couple of guys I bring in. Sometimes I'll work with them. Sometimes I'll just let them sew it up, just depending on what the deal is. And it's trying to keep everybody cool. All right, there's Buster over there. He just looks relaxed, don't he? He does. He's got it made. I'm telling you what. And I'm fixing to go out there and round these sweeps up and get them on. We'll shoot another little short video before we run the rows, and then we'll run some rows. Maybe I can set up the tripod. I ain't got nobody to hold the camera. And maybe you can see the tractor run back and forth from a distance. I'd like to do a little better with these videos, but it's just me, so hey, it is what it is. All right, we'll be back. All right, we got our healers on, fertilizer hopper on. Got that piece off. We're gonna get some fertilizer and head to the field. Just try it out and see how it does. I'm gonna try to drop my fertilizer right there in front of my healer and go from there. So I will catch up with you in the field. Let's see what we got. All right. Alright, I've been playing with these lower rows, trying to kind of dial it in a little bit between how much fertilizer I should put down there and how much dirt I should roll up. I don't know if I'd ever get it exactly like I want it, but it's pretty good. Not covering anything up, and I'm getting a little fertilizer down. Now I'm fixing to move up the hill to the Silver Queen, which it's a little taller, so it ought to be a little less likely to get off track. All you gotta do is zig and zag and you done covered something up or dug something up. I figured I better come set my camera down or I wasn't gonna have a row. If you were to look down that road that I done with the camera on me, it just looks like a snake down through where I zigged and zagged so much. But anyway, let me get this finished. I'm gonna hit these other 6 rows. I may wait a while about that little lower garden. It don't seem like it's really high enough for me to be down there with the hillers just yet. I'm sure they'd like the fertilizer though. Squash, it's plenty high enough. Just don't know if I want to run the hillers in there against it. Well, anyways, let me get these 6 rows of Silver Queen done and we'll look at the rest of the garden. Maybe after lunch. It took me a while to get here. I started about 8 this morning. Here it is after 1. I'm just now rolling dirt, so I'd hate rather been doing this earlier, but that's life. All right. do for fun. Alright, that worked out alright. We got our corn healed up, fertilizer in place. Ended up going to the lower garden, and really I just kind of barely touched it. Just really wouldn't call it healing up so much as just wanted to lay by and put some fertilizer in there. And I ended up doing everything down there. The small corn, the okra, and the squash. Like I said, I just went in there and just barely set my healers down, and had to set them down to get the fertilizer clutch, or the fertilizer seeder clutch, to engage and raise it up. Maybe I was scratching an inch, half inch, depending on whether I was kind of in a little dip or on a little rise. But anyways, I like it. Got a little fertilizer in beside it. It's clouding up pretty strong. I imagine we're gonna have a rain. There's about a 60% chance. A good shower after all this fertilizer would be a good thing. I appreciate y'all hanging there and watching with this. I'll shorten this old film up where it won't be so much of it. But anyways, I was excited about it because it's really the first time I really got to use my Farmall for the reason I bought it. I turned it, I plowed it, I planted it with a 3-point hitch and the Covington cultivator. I would have liked to have planted it with a Farmall planter. Didn't have the stuff I needed to do it with. So, you know, y'all been following me in length of time. You know, I just got this Farmall here recently, so this is just it's just something new I'm doing. Biggest garden I've ever probably planted. That one down there I planted probably the last 7 or 8 years. Most of the time it got away from me for weeds, but I still managed to get plenty of food out of it. Well, I hope this year is this Farmall will keep these weeds from overtaking me. Now if it'll come a good rain, I'm starting to see this stuff come on up some more. I mean, it's done grow to a foot in 3 days because of the rain we've had. I'm gonna come back there with nothing but cultivators and just clean out all the weeds and keep the weeds cleaned out of it until it's so high I can't run the tractor over it. And then it's just, you know, a matter of staying with it till produce time and keeping the deer out of it. Deer are gonna want to eat it now. If I was a deer, I'd just be sitting over on the edge in the woods thinking, oh man, that looks good. Maybe they don't like the smell of fertilizer. I hope so. But anyways, that's where I got today. Appreciate everybody watching. Hey, we'll just keep moving with this thing. You know, as soon as it gets to the point where I've done my last cultivating with this tractor, I can't imagine I'm gonna start doing some paint work on it, start trying to dress it up a little bit. Still a couple of items I want to buy for it. I'm gonna pick me up some more cultivators, probably for a little cub or something, and just cut them off right here to where I can just one bolt put my healers on there. I have found another set of cultivators for Super A. I think I'm gonna buy it and set it up a little different. And I'm gonna get it to where I can just one bolt, put my cultivators on, one bolt, put my healers on, and then you'll still be able to make adjustments in there. But I want to get it for 90% of what I do. I haven't got to start adjusting up and down and in and out. And you know, you'll finally reach a point where it's just really, really good, and then you'll just keep working with that. So I'm liking the tractor. Really love the little tractors. My toy. I have found me a 1-point hitch. Probably come off a M or something like that had the 2-point hitch. It's just 2 bars that'll fit in here. And I'm gonna try to pick them up this week and attach them to maybe this. I want to turn this into a little kind of little cart to carry around behind it. This seems like that'd be real handy. I do know an old boy, one of the guys I watch, he's got one on the front of his. I mean, he just made a piece on his front bumper. He just carries it around. But I don't want the weight on the front. Just to make it a little more difficult to steer with more weight on the front. But I have my little cart back here. This is working for a cart right now, but it's a set of hay forks, you know, for 3-point hitch. To me, the 3-point hitch I put on here is just an attachment. You just throw it on there, pin it in there. I need to get me a bunch of washers. I got a spacer over yonder I'm kind of using for washers. Only got one over here. And I mean, I like the little 3-point hitch thing, but I want it to be 1-point hitch because that's what I'm fooling with. Everything I can get, if I could get me this, maybe a little real lightweight box blade or scrape blade or something. That's probably about all I'd need for it. I don't know about, maybe even a rake could be good, a little lightweight rake. But I don't need a whole lot for this tractor. But I'd like to make it a little more useful than just doing the garden. If I could make it a little more practical for me, it would make more sense. Because, you know, I mean, it's nice to have it, but you know, once you get through cultivating, what do you got here? You park it in the shed and leave it to next year? No, I pretty well won't be using it every day for something, or at least once or twice a week, anyways. But I like the little old sweetheart. I certainly don't regret buying it. It's been a little fun job getting it from what I call just a piece of junk to a pretty decent little old tractor. Now, it'd take both hands to tell you, to count up all the things it really needs. But it showed a lot better than it was. But, you know, come fall and winter, I'm gonna be doing a lot of work to it. I'm gonna probably rebuild the touch control. I'm gonna pull this transmission back down, see if I can quieten it down some. Got a couple of ideas. Got access to a couple of more transmissions. The motor runs like a sewing machine, but you know, I may spend the $500 or $600 and pull it down and redo it. It does got a very, very slight head gasket leak up at the very front. I don't have to add water to it much, but it'll drip a drop or two. And, you know, it's not going to get better. It'll get worse. So, you know, and I may come down here in the morning, the whole floor will be full of antifreeze. But anyways, there we go. That's what started this whole thing, wanting me a little Farmall. So it done the job of fertilizing today. I was proud of that. Let's go put it in the shed and get a bite to eat. Thanks for watching. Like and share. Comment. Got anything you want to say? Any questions you want to ask? It's just learning experience. Like I used to tell folks, it's just one big life. It's one big experiment, and I'm enjoying it right now. So, anyways, we will talk to you later.